listening to the Chartographers.
Okay. You're listening to the Chartographers Music Loving Podcast, Music Loving People Happy Hour Minisode, where we're talking about whatever we want to talk about in regards to our all-time favorite band, Ween, the band of which no one can have any controversial opinions on whatsoever. Right now in the studio, it is me, Evan Saudi, it is co-creator Taran O'Reilly, and it is our two Chartographers All-Stars, J.C. Sciaccotta and Jon Harvey, coming back for their 5th and 6th artists respectively. And holy shit, y'all, we just ranked all the Ween albums. There was joy, there was debate, there was contention. I am really happy with how it turned out. I thought it was a very productive discussion, but now we need to really dive into it because it's a Happy Hour Minisode. We talk about whatever we want, but we need to start the thing we do at the start of every Happy Hour Minisode, which is, fellas, what's the worst Ween song? And there's choices. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out Morning Glory off of Pure Guava as the most unlistenable song in their discography. Who else has got some picks?
Something from the first 3 albums.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to think about this. I mean, like, for example, we're just talking about the worst. I mean, Blackjack is 4.5 minutes of just nothing. It's just, my God, what a waste of time. And so for that, that's definitely a good option. Oh, also off of the same album, Nicole.
Oh,
you know what my favorite genre is? Mediocre white men playing a mediocre version of reggae slowly for 9.5 minutes.
Taran, that was fucking hot in '91. Fucking between the Blues Traveler, fucking Spin Doctors, that fucking white boy. Not funk was where it was.
White boy, not funk.
They've been doing it well.
They're playing Paul McCartney and the Police.
They do it better later.
So, fun fact about Nicole: the Roots played Nicole for Nicole Richie's opening on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, really?
I didn't bring this up there, so it's fucking. I wanted to say this in my intro and I blew it.
Were they throwing shade?
No, so it's kind of funny that me and J.C. like our last one was Harry Nilsson, who was like also considered like your artist's favorite artist.
That was the fifth one.
And so Ween and like except that when you hear like somebody say like, yeah, I'm deeply inspired by Harry Nilsson, you're like, oh yeah, I hear that, I get that. Where with Ween, when somebody says like, oh, I'm deeply inspired by Ween, you're like, wait, what? You're like,
you sure about that?
Ween is like another one of your band's favorite bands, and you're just always really confused when you find out that somebody says it. Ween is thanked in the liner notes of Daft Punk's Homework.
Stop!
They fucking...
Really?
Yeah.
I love that!
They, in an interview in '95, Aphex Twin said...
his two favorite albums.
Said 2 of his favorite albums of all time were The Pod and Pure
Guava. Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking Natalie Marion, a.k.a. Wise Blood, said in her 5 favorite albums, put Pure Guava.
What? Wow.
Wow.
Well, we didn't even really talk about this in the episode. Evan and I both, when we were starting to do research, we were like, oh, their first single of notoriety was Pushing Up the Daisies.
Which
I'll be very interested to hear that. We both got to it and we're like, what the fuck? This is the song that broke them? What?
Yeah.
Dude, it was a big hit in Australia. Like I'm telling you, it was like a creep-sized hit. Like if you go to any like Gen X Australian dude, like they will know that song.
That's insane.
It does make sense for Australia.
In a weird way.
Yeah. Can't wait for them to lip sync it on Drag Race Down Under.
Off the success of that, toured with 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor also called them geniuses. It's really weird.
It's so interesting though in the 33 and a third book, which was kind of a good just overview of the band's work, including the Chocolate Cheese era, which the book was about. They were able to get a hold of Trey Anastasio of Fish, but he didn't really talk about the love of Roses Are Free. He talked about he liked Ween, other songs he liked by Ween, but kind of just refused to talk about why they kept playing Roses Are Free, which was just kind of a weird
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be dismissive or rude. I think that might just be reading into it because even while Ween was broken up, there's kind of a moment that internet circulation because during the live show, Trey was like, I think Mickey and Aaron should get back together. Like, everybody give a big shout if you think they should do that.
Well, another thing you have to consider with the Fish-Ween relationship is they were both on Elektra Records.
Right. So he was able to...
They were label mates.
Label buddies, yeah.
So...
Can we talk about real quick, just for people that might be like kind of casually Ween interest fan, listen to the podcast only, talk about what happened leading up to their breakup too, because there's kind of a detailed situation of what went on and then them reuniting ultimately.
So it's kind of like by that point, like I think
after
doing this for decades and decades, Jeaner's body definitely couldn't hold up with that amount of drug use. I mean, dude, Ween had a guy. I'm not sure if it was just their sound guy, but there was a dude on payroll just to test drugs because like fans were giving them such weird shit and they weren't sure what they were getting. So there was a guy that was literally just on payroll to fucking eat shit and make sure it was cool before they did that. And so there was a moment when, like, 2011, they're playing in Vancouver, Canada. Gene comes out looking like Beetlejuice. It's a bad sight and just starts train wrecking. And it's kind of fucked up because they keep going and the band got pissed off and they ditched him alone on stage to do it. And he was like...
Right, while they're playing Birthday Boy, right?
While they're playing Birthday Boy.
Of all songs.
Yeah.
And he just finishes off the set solo and it's a really kind of sad sight. And so he's like, well, I gotta get sober. And I don't think the rest of the band was totally ready to go sober Ween yet. And Aaron's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here because like I can't like not use when I'm in here. And
all of that is definitely true. His drug use, I just think he couldn't handle it. But the other thing I think it maybe was a little bit is these guys have known each other since they were 14, and at that point they were like 40. So for some people, you know, it's not even just a matter of like outgrowing friends, because I don't think that's really what it was. But you know, just you're not the same person you are when you're 14, and sometimes when you hang out with people you knew when you were 14, you almost revert back to being that person. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think for Gene, like psychologically, he needed to remove himself from Dean.
I also kind of think that they realized that there wasn't quite the same juice in there, even while they were doing La Cucaracha. And I think I don't think there's going to be another Ween album. I only really want one because I want a better closer. Yeah. But about that, there's probably not going to be that one, and I think that's kind of what also led to it, where it's like I don't think. You know, Mickey's going to keep doing the music. I don't think Mickey's going to stop, but I think Aaron was kind of done. I think he realized Ween was kind of, as far as recording new material, would kind of hit that road, and I'm not sure Mickey necessarily would have agreed with that.
Right, and I remember there was a thing talking about how he kind of did a retreat for a while away from music after Ween broke up, and then began working at the School of Rock and like helping like tutor young musicians, and for him that was kind of his thing to kind of get back into music, was that actually, just because he was able to kind of overcome his songwriting blocks by teaching younger kids who he hadn't heard of Ween or didn't know, like just kind of like, here's what a song is, and like that was so helpful to him. And then they both put out solo, different soloing records, various things. Dean had the Moist Boys and the Dean Ween group, and Gene put out his album under Freeman, which, from what I understand, maybe we heard, no one heard. I never.
It's decent. Yeah. There's a few songs I really like on there, but it's I don't go back to it too regularly.
Yeah. But most importantly, while we're here, we're talking about it. When they were initially started out as a band, obviously they were recording as a duo with drum machines with these basic 4 tracks on here, which is the Love to Pure Guava. And then when they came to Chocolate and Cheese, they expanded their not only their lineup of collaborators in studio, but on stage too. And that's when they really began to come into their own as a live band, because now people go to Ween shows maybe not even knowing the songs, just knowing that they're going to fuck some shit up, that they're going to change some things, which is why Voodoo Lady off of Chocolate and Cheese is pretty much a staple, because that's the song that they can just tear out and just go into wild places with. And even on the Live in Chicago from 2003 DVD that we watched, that song absolutely was one of them that's just like, yeah, let's fucking go for it. Yeah, now, you two motherfuckers that are here right now, y'all have seen Ween live before, including a show together in Chicago,
we
right?
Went to we finally got to see Ween together first time live, which was really weird because
2017 was it?
I think so. 2017
it was the day before St. Patrick's Day.
It was that was the same one. No, the first one we went to was really weird because it was like was like a Thursday night, and it was really raining, and it was kind of gross, and like you kind of had like
standing in line out there.
You get like this like head cold going on there. So when we got there, it was the brownest show of all the ones that I've been to by far, because it was literally just all the haziest Ween jams back to back. Like they're doing Tear for Eddie, Stallion Part 1, Pony, like Roses. There's all like the ones that like really fuck with your head. They're just gonna do those back to back to back, and
they played most of Chocolate and Cheese, which I feel like they don't normally do.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. Did you like it though?
Oh, it was fucking amazing.
That was
loved it.
That was still. Dude,
that's the thing about them that makes them sort of an anomaly as a band too. Like most bands, it's like one or the other. Like great studio band, great live band, or maybe there are bands that are great at both, but
you too.
But for a band like Ween, where their studio work is so like strange and reliant on like all these weird technical fluctuations, etc., it's sort of unusual and unlikely that they became such a great live band when you think about it. But they are, and they're one of the best live bands I've ever seen.
Dude, same here. I mean, I've never. There's one show that was like fine, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't compared to the other ones. But I've never regretted spending the money to do it. They sure fucking charge. They're sure to make sure to get their fair share on that one. That's for sure. They're not cheap tickets anymore. Yeah, I've seen them I think 8 times now.
Wow, shit.
Damn, I don't know if I've seen that many times.
The first time that first show we went to, I still think is my favorite one of their favorite one I've seen. But I saw them at Riot Fest in 2019 where they did the Mollusk in full. And that was
cool.
One, I was just surprised at how fucking well it still works as a set list live. There was nothing weird about like the string. It's like, oh, this is fucking going great. That was just as good, and I think Diener's. I don't know how if he started drinking again. It might have done during he might have started drinking again during COVID and shit. But I think he was sober for that one, and that one was nice because that was even other shows before that was like the happiest I think I've seen both of them since the reuniting. They were both they were both having great stage banter and saying stupid shit. It felt a little bit more like the old school with the tape deck days, and just ended up. It was a really really happy show, and I think that was like the best I've seen them on there. Just could not recommend going to see live Ween enough.
Yeah, because then you went and saw them in Milwaukee.
I did see them in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
I saw them. They did a Halloween show in Chicago, and I couldn't go to that, so I went to the one in Milwaukee.
I went to the Halloween show.
You went to the Halloween show?
One in Milwaukee.
The one in Milwaukee was awesome. They did a cover of Let's Dance by Bowie.
Oh, yeah.
And Diener was wasted. I mean, completely shit-faced. And he wanted to go into When Cries Mary, and Gene, you could actually hear Gene on the mic going like, I don't want to play that song. So then Diener just did it by himself. And it was...
fun!
Well, I mean, it was hilarious. But it was a complete fucking train wreck.
Matt said the energy was really weird during that.
Yeah, he was at that show. So it was, it was just it was a grand old time. It was very brown that night.
Yeah, same with the one that night before. They ended up doing, well, it was a combo of Ice Castles and Final Alarm, but they ended up doing like a 12-minute Ice Castles.
I would have loved to have seen that.
That was the first time I was like, oh, wait. I was like, fucking, Ice Castles is pretty fucking dope. It should just be a 12-minute fucking combo.
Any of their songs that sounds like it went through like a VHS tape is good with me.
Ice Castles that's a confusing one for me.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
I know a lot of people that are really weirdly.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine it. I mean, part of why it's so fascinating is because it's just so different from pretty much all of the rest of their output.
Well, speaking of their output, though, there's also a lot of non-studio output they have as well. Shinola, obviously, being one of the key prominent ones, which, of course, has Boys Club.
So how much of the B-sides did you guys explore?
I listened to Loop de Loop, and I mean, Homo Rainbow is
incredible.
That shit is fucking awesome.
Like, lyrics aside...
But that guitar solo is
so
fucking good.
No. And even the chef parts, I'm like, this is so good.
But I like the lyrics. Again, it's one of those things that you think is a joke, but it's a sincere song they wrote for a friend who's a gay bartender in New Hope. We didn't kind of go over this, but like they're from New Hope, which is considered the largest gay community in the Northeast. So like, there's a lot of stuff that like people. Some of it is kind of like dated homophobia, but like there's a lot of it is more sincere and loving than I think is like.
You smell big dick.
Well, that was because they have
I have a story
multiple
about
songs. Well, they've got Mr. Richard Smoker.
Not the sucking dick. Sorry, I did not suck dick.
And if you did, you got a story. I got 100.
Sorry, Taran, continue.
No, but they have got Mr. Richard Smoker. They've got the HIV song. They've and what were you literally just talking about?
I was talking about Mr. Richard Smoker. So I was Homo Rainbow.
Oh yeah, well, and Homo Rainbow. I mean, they've got like you can tell that they sort of grew up around gays because there's a surprise for two straight dudes.
It's kind of
there's a surprising amount of
gay content.
Gay content, but it's also all, and it's weird to say because of what the HIV song is, but it's all pretty wholesome. It's wholesome gay content. It's like a tribute to their queer friends, which I really appreciate.
So like so I was at a Ween show and I was overhearing this conversation. They're talking, it's two kind of younger guys, probably like 25, are talking about it. And they're like, yeah, I love kind of not crazy about some of the homophobia like Mr. Richard Smoker, and some like Gen X gay dude taps in and is basically being like, look, like yeah, dude, like he's basically saying like, yeah, I get it, but like at the time in the 90s it was kind of nice just to have a song for the gays, Finally, it's a song about big juicy penises for the boys.
I mean, that's an interesting take. Yeah.
I mean, it's I like that one more than, for example, what was the one about the gas station?
Pumping it for the man.
Yeah, I mean, that one's more of a like.
That's 90s, and you can kind of get away with saying that word.
Well,
but
when it comes to that kind of stuff with Ween, I mean, the way my take on it is it's kind of like South Park a little bit, where it's like almost so like outrageous and like over the top with some of this stuff. It's like, I don't really take it seriously.
Yeah, I've kind of come to accept that if you find it offensive and off-putting, that's fine. It is.
Yeah, totally.
It is. If you don't, it's kind of this thing. Because dude, it's just, there's so much that, when you go to that book, there's so much stuff, there's stuff that you might think is bad, and it turns out somebody has like a really, really positive experience, where you think the HIV song is making fun of people, and then there's that woman who's like, I have HIV, and when I do these lectures on HIV, I open up because I just need some levity.
Yeah.
And
also something like Junkie Reggae Jew, you might go like what the fuck
what
is
do you mean
that?
You might?
Yeah, well, but I mean,
and then
Gene Ween's Jewish, and so it's like, he can say Matzafari. I don't know.
What was it? There's it's really weird because I've also seen, like with Japanese Cowboy, I've met people that are like, I don't like black people that don't like the Brothers on Skate line. I've met some that love that line. They think it's funny or whatever. Like, I don't know. I say you're both right.
Yeah.
You're both. But then it's also weird because then all my Mexican Ween friend fans fucking love and eat up all the fake bad Mexican accent shit.
Really?
Dude, they love it. Dude, I'd be at parties, and when it comes winding down, like my other weird friend, like PD, I know, he would like fucking, he was just like they all just started putting on like the fucking Puerto Rican power and like shit like that. Fucking the Buenos Tardes shit. Like, I don't know. Did you ever heard the story about
a generational thing a little bit?
Have you also heard the story about when Warner Brothers tried pulling Speedy Gonzalez from Mexico?
I mean, I know.
So it's like there's at one point that like Warner Brothers, I think it was like the 80s or 90s, were like, okay, maybe this isn't cool and this is kind of offensive. Like, we're not going to start airing this. And Mexicans were like, fuck that shit, we love Speedy Gonzalez. What are you talking about?
I've heard that kind of stuff too, actually.
I mean, well, Pepe Le Pew was canceled, but
the French don't like it.
That has to do with his nationality.
We are not racist against Pepe Le Pew because he is French.
Yeah, Ryan Adams had a lot to say about that. Anyway, but what would you say? I mean, what would you say is the best non-album Ween song of the one?
I do genuinely love. I mean, like I said, Homo Rainbow. I do another big one. The other big B-side that I like.
The Pizza Hut song.
The Pizza Hut song as well. Back when I partied more, Booze Me Up and Get Me High was another classic. Mm-hmm. What else did you guys find that you liked?
I really liked off of Shinola, The Rift. I thought that was a really like fun, spacey jam.
And I know J.C. liked Transistors, obviously.
Transitions, yeah.
Transistors.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Transitions, no, I dig that one. That one's top 20 for me for sure. That's
Excellent.
a really great track.
Excellent.
And just in general, I thought Shinola was really solid. I felt like it held up with the rest of this sort of golden era for them.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's better than La Cucaracha.
I mean,
without a question.
There's so many things that are better than La Cucaracha. It's still kind of surprising. Also, I mean, for the record, and I feel like we haven't do this enough, we kind of talked about a certain thing. What are some of the songs that we didn't talk about during the main cast that we wanted to talk about? I know for a fact we didn't talk about Freedom of 76, for example.
Yeah, somehow.
Which is the vocal take on that, by the way, might be Aaron's masterpiece of, like, vocal...
Falsettos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, what were your when you guys? Well, two questions. One, what did you did the order I told you to listen to them in?
Very helpful.
Okay,
I think that was a good idea.
And I only had you go back the country later because I'm like, it's because people have so many misconceptions about it. I'm like, no, the band first, and then you won't be like, what is this?
Yeah, no, I think that was good.
And what were the favorite songs that you think, after doing all this, your favorite Ween songs that you listened to?
Okay, hands down, Transdermal Celebration.
A great one.
I just everything about it. I also kind of like, I don't know, this is maybe just a me thing, but like usually transdermal is like a medical term.
Yeah.
Like it's like patches, so you could think of
that's a funny point.
You could think that it's about drugs, but I also, because all it means is just like through the skin. So like when I hear the phrase transdermal celebration, I think of like how you feel when you're cuddling. And so to me it's like this really like, it's kind of like a love song almost, even if that's not how they meant it to be.
Well, that's the great thing about Ween too, is that you can interpret the songs differently.
And especially a song like that's that like soaring and open. Like I feel like it's meant to just be an experience more than like,
of course,
you're dissecting what these lyrics are.
Did you do you know the story about them recording the guitar solo for that?
No.
Oh, so Dean has a friend that was he's a crew guy, gave him a call and said, hey, I'm working at the Carlos Santana. He's like parked in an area, like we got his gear there. If you come here, like we can go in there in the middle of the night, just use his equipment to record this guitar solo. So they went in there at like 2 a.m. and set up like a little portable unit and like set up his like whatever he was using at that time and just recorded in an airport hangar and got the fuck out.
That's incredible. Because that solo sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's nigh perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I said it before and I'll say it again, I Don't Want It was just the song that absolutely knocked me off my fucking face this week. And I keep coming back to it. I'd be at night, it would just come to me, just that riff would come back. It just struck me so powerfully and so beautifully. So yeah, it's been quite the journey to go on that too. And also, when Quebec was my favorite album, I didn't come to that lightly though, because there was a lot of things in contention. Because once we get into that real good area, it's just like there's just so many different things together that it became a hard discussion, because these albums have different aims and different goals. It's not like U2 where they're the best U2 album. Like, it really feels like, what mood of Ween are you in today, kind of, because they have different needs. And I knew, and part of the reason why I knew having U2 on here was going to be a little bit contentious, because we come from very different viewpoints on this thing, and while we can agree on certain aspects of it, I kind of knew that, I think everyone was going to shit on La Cucaracha. I wasn't sure, and when J.C. said that was his number one album of the band, there was a part of me that believed him, and that's why it was such a good fake out, because I was like, oh, it is? It could be his? I don't know. Yeah.
I will say I would have, like, in my own personal ranking, I had La Cucaracha above, I think I said this, God Ween Satan, but also Pure Guava.
Wow.
From a certain point of view, it makes sense.
Partially, just because Woman and Man is so incredible that it just sort of like
it also
it's like the songs aren't good, but they're not like aggressively offensive to the ear.
Also, here's the tough part, man. I would go into this. I'd forgotten how kind of daunting the entirety of Ween was until I have to when I had to start thinking of things that I had to make sure you were brought up to speed on, and I'm trying to determine what's actually important and what's not just fun, because that's the other thing about this compared to there's a lot of great stories behind these songs, why they're written, weird responses that have happened to it that I'm like, am I just ranting because I like talking about Ween, or is this or what if this is actually important on here? But also I don't know how long you did. 4 weeks is a short time to try and conquer this much material.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did it in more like a week and a half.
Too quick. For all you know, you can come back and maybe like one day in the future, like somehow like Pure Guava miraculously doesn't sound terrible to you. But it's
possible.
But if that's it, like even when doing and I know these albums, that's a lot to do in 2 weeks. I don't think I even got to the third albums for like fairly like well into my Ween experience.
Yeah. How was it for you, JC?
Revisiting
and just going through all this again? Was it just
great. I mean, I'd listened to this stuff a lot. I was really trying to get more into the early stuff, just because it's just so daunting. I mean, there's just
so many fucking songs.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
But I always kind of felt 12 Golden Country Greats was the best one, and
you this week just reaffirmed that for you.
Yeah, for me.
Fuck, really important question. Sorry to interrupt, Taran. Do you dislike any of these albums more than Lulu by Metallica?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Lulu is definitely worse.
All right, I just wanted to know.
Any of this?
I've been wondering this since we last hung out.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. Because here's the thing. I did say all three of the early albums had strong songs that I was a fan of. And Lulu did not have that.
Does not. Yeah.
I am the table. I am the table.
Just a couple other songs that we didn't mention by name I just have thoughts on. First of all, Tried and True.
Well, that was the single to Cool.
One of their most popular songs. That was the single? I'm sorry. Who let Can You Smell My Hole through Quality Control?
I didn't even think about that line.
Can you smell
Could you smell my hole? That could potentially be one of my favorite songs by them, because I think the instrumentation is really good, but that takes me out every time. I giggle, and not in a good fun way. It's just
they weren't on Elektra anymore. What can I say?
I can't believe none of them caught that.
Yeah.
I can't believe you hadn't caught that.
I caught it.
I caught it.
Time.
I caught it. I just meant I didn't know think of that. Oh, this was on radio. This line got to the public. I knew it was on there.
It was a single.
That's what I'm with you. How do 12 executives? Because probably it's the other albums. Nobody probably actually listened to it, or they listened to 45 seconds of it, and we're yeah, send it out.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I just, Anyway, the other song I wanted to mention, we said it was amazing, but we didn't actually talk about Flutes of Chi.
Flutes of Chi, yeah.
It's very simple, but it's just very well executed for me, that opening salvo. And I guess that's another time they sort of do the, pseudo-Indian sound.
Yeah, the Beatles Indian style.
Yeah,
not the authentic. They fucking,
well, and that's White Pepper is Beatles.
Well, I mean, also, even if you don't, I realized as I was listening to it, this is just kind of a rip of Get Better by the Beatles, but, it kind of works in its own way.
Bit,
music video by the dudes from South Park.
There we go.
Fun fact, they tried making a fishing show with Dean Ween and Les Claypool didn't get picked up.
I remember that, yeah.
They ended up so they did the music video. Actually, when I saw Ween at North Coast, because Primus played the set before, Les Claypool came out and did a little jam on the Mollusk with them.
Oh, nice.
That was kind of fun.
Good for them.
JC, what is your favorite Ween song? Or favorites? Just pick, you don't need to rank one. You can pick the ones that you think.
It's so lame to say Roses Are Free, but I just think it's such a fucking masterpiece.
That's in my top 3.
Freedom of 76. That's part of the reason I had Chocolate and Cheese #1, just because I think there's so many of the songs on that record. Actually, you know what? Pony's my favorite Ween song.
Mr. Would You Please Help My Pony?
That is my favorite Ween song.
Fascinating.
The story behind that in the book, by the way.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I love that because, for those who don't know, they were fucked up on what was it? They were fucked up on something real hard.
Oh yeah, I think they drank like mushroom tea, but somebody put in way too much, and they only drank like a gallon of it.
Right, and so
only a gallon.
Yeah. So they were in their hotel room tripping it, and then around 3 a.m. they throw the newspapers at the door for all the residents. And so they open up the door, and the first headline is about a child that had to get spinal surgery or whatever, and it freaks Dean out so hard because like we just wrote Spinal Meningitis, we just wrote this fucking song, and that was in a fucking newspaper, and so then it's just like lying on the bed, like feeling his hands, just like unsure, and then Gene goes over to him and just like high as shit, he's poking him and says, "Hey, Mister, would you please help my pony?" His line is fucked up, and just like doing shit to just like kind of distract him from the bad trip that he's going on right now, and that kind of inadvertently became the inspiration. I'm like, that is an insane fucking.
That's
story.
also the most Ween story.
The most Ween story.
Oh, isn't there another song where it's like where there's a lot of screaming or something where they threw Gene in the trunk of a car?
I think that's the background to Candy is where they throw him.
When he's like doing that. Rah! Like, and Gene just drove around, like, swerving, doing donuts with Gene in the trunk. So he's
so you can go online.
That's so stupid.
you can go online and still find Diener's old tour diaries from like 2000, 2001. I think maybe actually the whole career. But there's one where they talk about like touring Japan and shit, and they're just going around there and they're like, oh yeah, we did this festival day. He's like, ended up like only 900 people showed up. Guess everybody else went to go see Weezer. Then they're like, okay, we showed up at the base of Mount Fuji today. Like the most beautiful venue you've ever seen in your life. So of course we're playing the auditorium. 900 people showed up. Everybody else went to go see Weezer, and they it ends up like capping off with them where like they're like kind of like terrorizing, like they're like their tour bus driver is not fucking having it, and so like they're all like kind of on drugs and actually like breaking the VHS player and shit. So like they're getting into arguments with him. So like the only person he'll talk to is Giner until Giner only starts responding in a British accent because the bus driver is also British, and he's like, "Excuse me, sir."
This is
there's a lot. Then there's like another story where they got double booked to play a college gig where like one student union like booked Ween and then like the black student union booked Busta Rhymes, and they're supposed to go back and forth, but Busta Rhymes never showed up. So there's like all these black students that are there like trying to sit through Ween just to get to like Busta Rhymes, and it is not going over well. So Ween just like punks out and starts like doing like Poop Ship and HIV, like all like the most difficult songs, and like people are like throwing shit at them.
Oh my god.
There's like a lot of really fun stories in that tour diary.
Yeah.
I'd say like because like, we were talking about like because I like Ween a lot because it's just like because I listen to music more like a utility. Like it's like songs have like a very specific function. The song is like was written to do this for you, and I kind of feel like Ween is like that. So, in that sense, this is kind of a weird choice because I'm not sure it's, like, the most immediately, like, this is the greatest Ween song ever. But Take Me Away does the job every single time. It just never fails to fucking get me hyped and going, especially the live ones. And I'm like, if there's one I've listened the most, it's probably that. And
which is funny because it's one of my least favorite songs on there.
I get it. It's in a certain way. It's not like if I was gonna show up. It's not like the most immediately impressive Ween song that they've ever written, but I think it just does
kind of that lounge lizard.
I mean, that's another one where I'm like, can you even claim to have written this? Mm-hmm. You know,
it's technically a song.
It's a Doors,
like a chord structure and a melody that's been done by like a lot of bands.
That's music. There's 7 chords. Get over it. There's 7 notes. Get over it.
We did Tom Petty once, you know.
Dude, that song sucks ass. You know what I mean? Like you can do that and still do that. Free falling. Like fuck off, Tom. Sorry.
Any other last thoughts on Ween? Any other ideas? Any covers you wish they did live, or ones that you heard that you loved?
Didn't they do L.A. Woman at that show?
I've seen them do.
Out of Take Me Away.
Actually, funny you bring that up because I was watching. They did a Take Me Away that turned into L.A. Woman by the Doors and then closed back up. Take Me Away.
All right. Well, listen, I want to say thank you so much for pushing to have us do a goddamn Ween episode. We actually have done it. We've drove into it. What is a boognish in your definition? What do you think, J.C.?
Well, what isn't the boognish?
Oh, okay.
I believe it's a copyright.
I from context clues, my headcanon, if you will, is that it's some sort of like fey goblin creature that they all worship. But that's, just...
Oh, it's again, even like some of those like stories that I don't believe like are stuff that actually happened. Just like the fibs are trying to mythologize the band. Like it's kind of like
Totally,
that. So
yeah.
they're like, oh, what do you do? Like we gotta have like image. Like Iron Maiden is like Eddie.
Yeah,
You get one of those. It's kind of like an equivalent of that with certain metal bands, especially because like a lot of like metal bands from that era eventually had like some stupid fucking thing. I forget whatever you call the dumbass thing from Megadeth. But Megadeth also has their own version of Eddie too.
The zombie thing.
So I think it's kind of like a little bit like that, like a spiritual being to represent like the intensity,
the nature of the band.
Yeah.
The spirit of the band is
right.
I just remember, what was it? I think Gene put out the Caesar demos, which is all the demos from like around the era of Quebec, except he did it without Dean's permission. Or
Dean did it without consulting Gene, which is a huge dick move.
It really is.
It really, I
and
agree.
Gene posted on the forums that the Boognish wept that day when he did that, which is like, what are y'all doing there? But yeah, apparently if you have a file trading service of choice, you can get all sorts of fucking just archives of demos from them at any given point whatsoever. I did not dig into the Caesar demos this
Many
week.
live recordings.
Yeah.
I didn't get. I don't think it's. Like I said, 'cause I like it. I'm dumb and I like the early albums, so I can like listen to some of the Crucial Squeegee, but I don't get why the guy and the author kept bringing it up. Like it's kind of shit. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty shit.
And then JC, I was asking him what his favorite live album was, and his was live in Toronto because I actually had the Shit Creek Band, the group of studio musicians, kind of cobbled from 12 Gold Country Grays together.
They also chose the really good songs to play on that one. Considering the band there, so that version of what Diener's talking about is really great with like the fiddle player and.
Would you say that's their best live one, or would you just disagree?
I would put probably my second favorite. Of the official live ones, I really like the Stubbs one the most because I think it's like the most random of the.
And it's almost 3 hours long too.
I think it's the most
that
actual.
one's like a full show.
That's like a full show, which is kind of not surprising why I like it more. But if I would, my second would definitely be Toronto because those versions are incredible.
14-minute version of Fluffy.
Yeah, like I
can't do any better than that.
I'm indifferent about the album version, but man, dude, that live version is something to behold. It's a really epic cosmic country jam that just kind of keeps building.
A very Sturgill Simpson. He took much
Fluffy's like the
inspiration.
funniest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
That's the one you find funny.
Oh, I think it's hilarious.
Because it's about
It's about his dog. He's like, oh, I love Fluffy. It's like it's so stupid, but it goes back to being smart again.
Yeah. I was also wondering what you thought of the Pandy Fackler take all week too. That was mine. I was just sitting on my tip of my tongue.
I like that kind of that early '70s Marino rock kind of sound.
Is it on the boat?
No.
Can't remember. JC, did you pick a worst Ween song?
I don't think I did. I wouldn't argue against Morning Glory.
Yeah. There's
a lot of stuff on the. I don't really like Pollo Asado.
Okay.
That's funny because that's like another one like that's like we were talking earlier how there's dudes that like that there's people that feel like Morning Glory is like Pete Brown weird Ween. There's other people like that with Pollo Asado. I like Pollo Asado, but to me it's essentially more of an interlude than an actual song.
Yeah.
It
just happens to go on for like 4 minutes, however long it is.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it like also sounds like proto Mac DeMarco. A lot of people like to make the comparisons, but like Mac's like insistent. Like I've never really listened to the band.
That's insane, but at the same time I get it though. Well, in the meantime, thank you both so much for being here. I appreciate it. The Boognish would not weep over this podcast, or he might. I don't know. I don't fucking care. He's a little demon guy. But most importantly, thank you so much for being here, Taran. Thank you for going on this batshit insane journey.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I really do. I have some amazing takeaways from this. I'm really happy we did it.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the meantime, if you like what we did, or if you didn't like it, feel free to leave us a comment, whether it be on the iTunes or on the Facebook, or however you want to reach us, or the chartographers@gmail.com. In the meantime, though, thank you so much for listening. Keep on listening, because you know that we'll be. Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Oh.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh.
It's like the end of Woman and Man.